Hello, Satnam, it's me, Shakti Sundari, and I'm here today, this evening, to introduce you to my new online course, which is going to be a 14-day online course for ecstatic connection. So let me just talk a little bit about what I'm going to say, first of all, in this half-an-hour transmission. So I'm going to talk a little bit about me and who I am, in case you don't know who I am and what I do. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I'm offering this course, and then I'm going to talk about what it involves and what you will need, how you can register, and then we're going to have an experience of the type of practice that will be included in the course. So first of all, just a little bit about me. I'm actually quite nervous. I'm not normally nervous when I'm speaking to the camera, but I am tonight for some reason, but that's okay. So, a little bit about me. I'm a priestess of love and sacred sexuality. I've been teaching embodied awareness for about 14 years. My practice started when I began to teach an embodied dance practice, ecstatic and embodied conscious dance and movement, which drew on many different disciplines, including martial arts, dance forms, and also mind-body awareness techniques, so combining all of those different things. I'm also a trained body worker, I'm a Reiki master, and I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher and practitioner, as well as a tantrika. So I'm devoted to the path of tantra, and sacred sexuality is the path of awakening. So I bring all of those things together in my tagline for my work and my business and my practice, which is awakening your ecstatic potential. For me, ecstasy is really what our true nature is, and I see my purpose as embodying that and reconnecting others with that true essence within themselves of ecstasy. And just to give you some examples of what that means for me, I'm going to read a few quotations. So first quotation is from Margot Anand, who is a really world-renowned Tantra teacher. She's kind of the grandmother of Western Tantra in a way. So she actually has written a whole book about living ecstatically. And she says, "We live in an anti-ecstatic society based on the conceived separation between flesh and spirit. We are encouraged and taught to repress our sexual nature, to doubt our mystical and spiritual nature, and to fear whatever does not conform to conventional behavior. But when we ignore the sacredness of life and the possibilities of living ecstatically, we risk losing ourself, our soul, in the process." So that's Margot Anand. And then there's another quote I'd like to read to you, which is from the Tantrika, a real-life living Tantrika, Lalita Devi, who Tantric teacher Daniel Audier writes about in his very well-known book, Tantric Quest, which describes his exploration and into Tantra in India, in northern India, and his meeting with this Tantrika who initiates him into the path. And so he is here recounting what she said to him. And she said, "You see, ecstasy is the natural human state, and the obstacles we create to ecstasy are part of a dictatorial state our thought makes us live in. Ecstasy is simpler than suffering. It smells good. It is present throughout. It is with us always. There's nothing to do and nothing to look for. It's enough to stay totally open and let things occur without worrying about changing their nature. But by our being really present, continuously present, all reality becomes a source of joy and happiness." So that's Devi in Daniel Odier's book, Tantric Quest. And one more, just because I just want to give some inspiration. This is from the most beautiful book by a lady called Trebi Johnson, and it's called The World is a Waiting Lover, and it's about that constant, eternal search for the beloved. Tantrism teaches that spiritual ecstasy is the germ of creation, and that with discipline and training, it can be unleashed in every experience and emotion. So there's just a few different flavors of the importance, the meaning, the quality of ecstasy as it applies to living tantrically. So I just want to convey the fact that it's not about sex necessarily, and I'll go on to that a little bit more in terms of people's misunderstandings when I mention the word sexual energy, and they go on to think that I'm talking about having sex, and I'm not at all. So we can embrace this path fully, we can live ecstatically fully, we can be connected to our sexual energy fully. We don't need to be having sex with anyone to experience that. And for me, that's one of the true parts of what tantric living is. So why am I offering this course? So there's quite a few reasons actually, ranging from the very personal to the much broader. So I'm just going to go through why I'm offering this course and why I'm offering it now. So the first reason is, you know, I always draw things out of my own lived experience. I recently went through a breakup, and as I was reflecting on that relationship breakup, I recognized that in some ways I had lost my connection practice in that relationship. I'd kind of given some of my centered alignment with the goddess and with the divine away to my beloved, and begun in some ways to put the expectation of him being the god in my life. And of course, every lover is the god, is the divine masculine. However, it's always up to me to maintain my alignment and my connection practice and my radiance as the divine feminine. And I recognized that I'd kind of lost touch with that a little bit. So I thought, right, I need to reconnect with that for myself. The second reason is that I'm on a path of awakening. My life is centered around that. So that's really the driving force. It's the most important thing to me out of everything in my whole life, is to live as an awakened being, which means just coming closer and closer and closer to the truth of being pure love, pure truth, and pure divinity. It's an ongoing practice. And with that aspiration to ascension and to awakening is my recognition that it does require what Trebi Johnson speaks of as discipline and training. It's not something that happens overnight instantly necessarily. It really does require constant sustained practice and effort, and mastery really, which is what's being asked of us at this time. So that's the second reason. Third reason is that quite a few clients that I've been seeing recently have presented with a real mixture of things, but being stressed out through overwork, doing jobs that they don't really love, feeling out of balance, feeling out of alignment. And I can just kind of see that in that place, having a daily practice would make so much difference. I also recognize, so this is another reason, that these are really, really challenging times that we're living in. Everything is speeding up, everything's getting quicker. There's so much more information, there's so much more apparent turmoil going on in the world. The forces of light and dark seem to be becoming stronger. It really is a powerful and potent time of awakening. And, you know, this has been predicted, and again, it's so important for us to have a practice of some kind at these times to anchor us, to ground us, to reconnect us to the light, to the truth, and to a higher perspective, rather than getting lost in the day-to-day grind, rather than getting lost in our shadows, in our emotions, in reacting to what's happening. We need to be able to rise above and witness our lives and connect to the flow of ecstasy, which is always there, but which we can so easily forget. Another reason I'm offering this course is that I so often get inquiries from people who say to me, teach me how to make love tantrically. How can I open up to this kind of ecstatic energy? How can I be a sacred lover? You know, and it's almost like there's an expectation that it just takes one or two things and you've got it. Well, from my experience, it takes years of sustained practice that include embodiment, that include cultivating the capacity to focus your mind in meditation, becoming aware of ourselves as energy and how to notice, move, sense and circulate energy. So these are and then of course the opening of the body to that flow of energy, when for many years it may have been guarded, defended, shielded. So that opening takes time. It's not something that can happen overnight. It would be too quick and sudden an opening for one person to experience. So it takes sustained practice, and that's another reason why bringing a daily practice into your life begins that process. Not always the answer you want to hear if you're an impatient person like me, but that's just my perspective. Okay, another reason I'm offering this course is that I also recognize how difficult it is to have that discipline, or what I've taken a phrase from my friend Simon. He calls it blisscipline, and I much prefer that. So it's the discipline that leads to bliss, and actually that can be blissful. I know how difficult it is. I personally find it very difficult to be disciplined myself, so you know, I can talk from experience, but I also know the benefits of having a sustained and regular practice. On my teacher training as a Kundalini yogi, for example, we were regularly doing 40-day meditation practices throughout the training. We were regularly getting up at 5 o'clock to do 2.5 hours of practice. So, and I really felt the benefits of that. So yes, another reason is that there's a great benefit in being part of a group. So group energy supports and sustains us. When we're doing something alone, it can be easy to lose motivation and to get lost in the inertia and all of the reasons why not to do it that the ego is going to bring up, for sure. When you're part of a group and you've made a commitment to yourself and to the group and maybe to someone else, then it's supporting your intention to sustain that commitment. So being part of a group is great. And then I've chosen a time in the morning, which to some might be early, to some it might not be, which is 6:30 to 7 o'clock. I'll talk again about that a little bit more, but that is known as the Amrit Vela, the time of nectar in the morning, when it's believed that our practice is most powerful. So really the final reason I'm offering this course is that I really am passionate about empowering others to live to their highest and fullest potential. And I know that having some kind of connection practice that you practice every day will make a difference in empowering you to live to your highest potential. So what's involved? Well, it's really simple. Once you've registered, which you can do just by I'll put a link beneath this video once I've posted it, or you can message me. Once you've registered, I'll send you a link. You become part of a private Facebook group, so only those who've paid will be able to watch what happens there. And then every day, starting on the 22nd of September, for 14 days, I will be transmitting live to that group for half an hour, guiding you in a daily connection practice. So these will be practices taken from yoga, taken from tantra, taken from mindfulness meditation, creative visualization, movement, so that you begin to be given tools and techniques for connecting with your body, with your breath, with your awareness, your higher consciousness, with energy, and with that current of life force and joy that flows through us all when we become aware of it, and that we can then connect with more. So I also, where's my glasses, wrote a definition of what is an ecstatic connection practice in case somebody asked me. Well, it's a practice that connects you to the inherent pleasure and bliss of being human to such a degree that you feel as if you become one with all of life, thus remembering your divinity and expanding your consciousness beyond the everyday. So during the live stream, there'll be time for you to ask some questions then, but of course in that group you can post questions anytime, you can post insights, revelations, experiences, and discuss it with everybody else who's in the group. And you're also encouraged to do everything in your power to show up in the morning at that time, because that's part of making the commitment. However, if for some really important reason you can't, you will be able to go back and watch the video. It will be there and it's not going to disappear, so you can catch up later. And of course you can watch it again and again and again if you really want to get the particular practice down. And then of course you can add the practices together over time and mix and match them and just make your own daily connection practice. If for some reason you don't want to do it via Facebook, I will also be able to email a link out to a YouTube video, but of course then you won't be participating live, and there is something special about being live, part of the experience and part of the group energy. Okay, what will you need? Simply this, a quiet space. So you're going to create a really sacred space for yourself where you will not be disturbed. Make it beautiful, make it sacred, make an altar, use candles, incense, whatever. Probably you'll need a yoga mat or a blanket or cushions or a chair if it's uncomfortable for you to sit down on the floor. A computer, your internet connection, and Facebook membership. Also a notebook and pen will be handy. The course cost, so your investment is £100. So that's just a little bit over £7 a day for half an hour of live presence, transmission and guidance from me, as well as my presence in the group throughout those 14 days for any follow-up questions that you might have. To register, I will post the link below, and it will also be on my Facebook page and on my website. So message me or email me if you want to join. So now we're going to go into a sample practice. Of course, when we do the morning practice, I won't be talking half as much as this. We will open with a short connection and then we'll go straight into the practice with my guidance. So there'll be a lot more emphasis, about 20 minutes of the time will be on the actual practice. All right, so today's practice, little sample, is called the Smiling Buddha Kriya. So this is a meditation taken from the Kundalini Yoga tradition. And so you're going to be sitting. So whether you're watching now, you can be sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor on a cushion or a mat or a bolster. So just being comfortable with a tall spine. So then you're going to take your index finger and your middle finger pointing up on both hands, and then the ring finger and the little finger are going to come down underneath the thumb like this. Okay, I'm just going to move back so you can see a little bit more. And then you're going to bend your elbows and have both arms out to the sides at about a 30-degree angle. And then you're going to just open the chest a little bit and pull back on your shoulder blades so you feel your heart center opening. So this is a meditation to connect with Christ consciousness in the heart. It's said that both Yeshua, Jesus, and Buddha practice this meditation. So elbows are bent, arms are out at a 30-degree angle, and like I say, index, the middle finger up, and the other two fingers are pressed down under the thumb like that. Opening the chest, tall spine, and the back of the neck is in line with the rest of the spine. The chin is pulled in slightly, and then you're going to go ahead and close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, you're going to focus at your third eye, your Ajna chakra, your brow point, which is right here. Okay, so eyes are closed, the hands are there, you're pulling back so the shoulder blades meet. You're focusing your eyes, they're closed, but they're rolled up as if you're looking out through the third eye. So once you've got that going, eyes closed, just holding that, begin to breathe long, slow, deep breathing. Just going to continue guiding you through this. So long, slow, deep breathing, breathing into the belly, the chest, and then out from the top of the chest and down and out. You're then going to begin silently chanting a mantra as if you're vibrating it from the third eye. And this mantra is Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. So 4 syllables, sa, ta, na, ma. So together this mantra means truth, these 4 sounds, sa, infinity, ta, life, na, death, and ma, rebirth or regeneration. So you're sitting, elbows bent, arms pulled back, the hands in this mudra, opening the heart, center, and the chest with a long, slow, deep breath. And you're silently vibrating this mantra, sa, ta, na, ma, from your third eye. So just continue with that. I'm just going to put a little bit of music on to support the meditation, and then I'm going to join you in the practice. You might think that it doesn't make a difference, but actually when you're in a group and you're all practicing together, there is a group energy. It can be felt remotely as well as in person. So I'm just going to find a piece of music that has that same mantra to support the meditation. Keeping the breath long and deep. Keeping the focus at the third eye. If you're not used to doing this, it can be a bit strange. It can make you feel like you're going cross-eyed. Doesn't matter. What that focus at the third eye does is that it helps to keep the mind in a meditative state. Okay, so you can continue with the meditation. I'm going to join you, and when you hear the chime of my bells, it will be time to come out of the meditation, but I will guide you in that. Focusing on the breath as it flows slowly in and out. Just allow the flow of the breath to continue to deepen, to slow more and more with each in and out breath. Filling the lungs fully and completely. Your shoulders relaxed, pulling back so that you continue to feel the opening and expansion in the heart center. then just holding the breath in for a few seconds. And just open and close the hands as you exhale. And then just rest your hands in your lap. And keeping your eyes closed. Just breathing full, long, deep breaths. So then just slowly and gently open your eyes and notice how you are. So although we only did that for a short while, we would normally do this meditation for 11 minutes. You might already know or notice or understand why it's called the Smiling Buddha Kriya, because it gives us that sense of glow and radiance from within, as if our heart is smiling, and when our heart is smiling, it makes our face smile and just glow with that inner radiance. So that's just one example of the type of practice that we would be doing in the course. Other practices will involve connecting more with your physical body, because we cannot experience ecstatic aliveness without being fully embodied. Other practices will be about the breath. Others will be about energy and sexual energy, and others about awareness and connecting to the consciousness that is the all that holds the space in which the ecstasy within us and within all of life can dance. Really excited because I've been writing out the details of the course today, so I know exactly what we're going to do, so I know it's going to be really exciting. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it myself. If you have any questions about the course, please write a comment or a question below, and I'll take some time after this to answer them. You can also email me via my website, www.shaktisundari.com, or you can message me here on Facebook. So there are all those different ways that you can ask me any questions that you might have. If you want to register, I'll also put the booking link below, so you can go ahead and do that straight away if you know that you want to join. And that's it really. So once again, ask me questions here on Facebook or via my website, shaktisundari.com. And I really look forward to starting this course on Friday, September the 22nd, which is the autumn equinox. So it's also a really auspicious, potent time. So thank you to all of you who've been with me tonight, and those of you who will watch this at a later date. Thank you for watching and being with me, and really look forward to joining you on the 22nd of September. Much love and Sat Nam.